If I lost everything tomorrow and I had to make 10K a month as fast as possible, I'd ignore every single piece of advice you see online about building your personal brand or growing your following first. Instead, I'd use a specific 3-tier system that I discovered when I analysed over 200 online educators who went from 0 to 10K a month in under 90 days. I spent 3 weeks diving deep into the revenue patterns of successful online consultants and course creators. And what I found completely changed how I think about building an education business. The fastest earners weren't the ones with the biggest audiences. They were the ones that understood this exact progression I'm about to show you. But here's what's crazy. Most people do this completely backwards, which is why they struggle for months and years even before seeing any real money. Today, I'm going to break down the exact system I'd use starting with absolutely zero. Now, making 10K a month from scratch sounds like another make money online fairy tale, right? Let me show you the actual data behind what I discovered. When I analysed these 200 educational businesses, I found some fascinating patterns. The average time to reach 10K a month was 87 days. But here's the breakdown that shocked me. 15% never made it past 2K a month because they skipped the foundational steps that I'm going to show you. Another 25% got stuck at the 3 to 5K range because they jumped to the wrong tier too early. 35% hit that 10K mark within 90 days. And 25% absolutely crushed it, reaching between 15 and 30K a month in the same time frame. The difference was they followed this exact 3-tier progression system instead of trying to build everything at once. The data showed the channel size meant almost nothing. I found YouTubers with 800 subscribers making 12K a month, while others with 15,000 subscribers were stuck at 2K. It all came down to understanding this specific sequence. But what do you actually need to make 10K a month for this system? Based on my research, you need one thing above everything else. You need to be able to solve one specific problem better than the average person in your space. Notice I didn't say be the world's best expert. I said better than average. If you can teach someone to do something that you figured out or help them avoid mistakes you've already made, you qualify. Now you might be thinking, but I'm not an expert in anything. Here's what I found interesting. Most successful educators weren't necessarily the most skilled. They were the ones that could teach clearly and had recently solved the exact problem their audience was facing. I found this one YouTuber had been freelancing for just 8 months, but she created a system for landing clients that got her 10K a month in 73 days. She wasn't a 10-year veteran. She was just slightly ahead of her audience and could clearly explain the process. However, there's another angle to this that most people completely miss. Instead of trying to compete with established experts, you take your existing knowledge and help people actually execute it. Think about it. There are millions of YouTube videos out there about starting a business, but how many people actually help implement step by step? This is exactly what the fastest growing education businesses do. They don't try and be the smartest person in the room. They become the best at helping people take action on what they already know they should do. So what is this system? It's designed to get you to 10K a month as fast as possible by starting with immediate income and scaling systematically. The genius of this approach is that each tier funds the next one and validates your market before you invest serious time. You're not guessing what people want. You're letting them tell you with their wallets. And here's why it works so well. Instead of trying to create the perfect course from day one, you're building your business like a ladder. Each rung supports the next one. And by the time you reach the top tier, you've already proven your system works. But before I break down the tiers, there's one massive mistake that will kill your chances of success. And that's trying to build the perfect course before you've proven demand. Imagine you're opening a restaurant and instead of starting with a simple menu to test what people like, you spend 6 months creating 200 item menu with dishes you've never made before. You'd go bankrupt before you even served your first customer. But that's exactly what most people do with education businesses. They spend months creating comprehensive courses, building fancy websites and perfecting their content before they've made a single sale. The 3-tier system flips this completely. You start by selling your time, prove your method works, then scale from there. It's like opening a restaurant with 3 great dishes, seeing which one people love the most, then expanding around the winner. Tier 1, Time for Money Foundation, $195 an hour. This is where everyone should start, but most people skip it because they think it's not scalable. That's missing the point entirely. The tier isn't about scaling, it's about validation and immediate income. Your first move is to offer 1-hour consulting sessions at $195. Why this price? My research showed that anything under $150 feels cheap for expertise. expertise, and anything over 250 requires too much credibility when you're starting. Now here's the key. You're not selling generic coaching. You're selling solutions to one specific problem. Instead of business coaching, you're selling how to get your first client in 30 days. Instead of marketing help, you're selling how to create content that actually converts. Your entire YouTube strategy at this stage is creating content around that one problem and then ending each video with, if you want me to personally walk you through this process, I offer 1-hour strategy sessions and the links in the description. Tier 2, the mini course bridge, $495. After you've done 20 to 30 1-hour sessions, you'll notice solving the same problem over and over again. This is your signal to create Tier 2, a mini course that packages your most common solution. But here's the crucial part. You're not guessing what to include. You're literally recording the solutions you've already proven to work on your one-on-one sessions. Your mini course should solve one specific transformation in a specific time frame. Get your first client in 30 days or double your freelance rate in 60 days. Keep it focused and promise heavy. The beauty of this tier is that your existing clients become your case studies. You can say, I've helped 30 people do the exact same thing, and now I'm packaging it so you can get the same results. Tier 3, the premium program, $10,000. This is where real money is made. But you can only do this effectively after you've mastered tiers 1 and 2. Your 10K program is a comprehensive solution that includes everything. But here's what most people get wrong. They think the 10K program needs to be massively complex. Wrong. It needs to be massively valuable. My research showed that the most successful high-ticket programs had 3 to 5 core modules, not 20. Your tier 3 should be positioned as done with you version of your proven system. Instead of just teaching the information, you're providing support, accountability, and direct access to you. The YouTube organic traffic strategy. Your content needs to match your tier progression. In tier 1, you're creating how-to content that demonstrates your expertise. In tier 2, you're creating case study content showing your results. In tier 3, you're creating transformational content showing the complete journey. The key is that every piece of content you make should naturally lead to your current tier. If you're in tier 1, every video should end with an offer to a strategy session. If you're in tier 2, every video should mention your mini course. Revenue progression timeline. Here's how the math works. Months 1 to 2, you're doing 10 to 15 1-hour sessions a month, making 2 to 3K. Month 2 to 3, you add the mini course and do 5 to 10 sessions plus 2 to 3 core sales. Now you're making 3 to 5K. Month 3 to 4, you launch tier 3 and you just need 1 to 2 high ticket sales plus your existing tiers to hit the 10K. The progression is designed so that each tier supports the next one, and you're never dependent on just one revenue stream. But what if nobody wants to pay $195 for an hour of my time? Here's the thing, if you can't sell an hour of your time, you definitely can't sell a course. The 1-hour sessions are your market validation. My research showed that the educators that struggled to sell their time were usually too broad in their positioning. They were trying to help everyone instead of solving one specific problem really well. Narrow your focus and sales become much easier. What if I don't have enough expertise? Look, you don't need to be the world's leading expert. You just need to be slightly ahead of your ideal client. If you've successfully done something once, you can teach someone else how to do it. I found that the most successful educators were often 6 to 12 months ahead of their students. They remembered what it was like to struggle with the problem, which made them better teachers than the experts who were too far removed from the beginner experience. Now, this isn't about becoming an overnight success. The educators I studied hit 10K a month the fastest were the ones that treated this like a real business, not a side hustle. They showed up consistently, delivered massive value in their one-on-one sessions, and they used every client interaction as research for the next tier. They weren't just selling their time, they were building a system. The key is understanding that each tier serves a different purpose. Tier 1 validates demand and generates immediate income. Tier 2 scales your proven solutions. Tier 3 maximizes your revenue per client. You need all three to build a sustainable 10K a month business. The biggest mistake I see is that people try and start with tier 3 first. They want to create that 10K program first because it feels more impressive. But without the foundation of tiers 1 and 2, you're building on sand. If you're serious about building an educational business that can generate 10K a month, start with tier 1 tomorrow. Pick one specific problem you can solve, offer a 1-hour strategy session, and use YouTube to drive traffic to those sessions. The market will tell you if you're onto something, and if you are, you'll have the foundation to scale to tiers 2 and 3. But first you need to prove you can help one person get one result. Everything else builds from there. Check out this next video if you want to know the secrets to making money online right here.